Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is Sudhir and you're watching the SWS Naatu Naatu series for the board examinations of 2024. What do we have today? Today we have 20 questions as part of this test and some very interesting questions that I picked up. Some of them I picked up from a pre-board paper of one of my students. Uh, that is going to definitely test you, and these are all from the Treasure Trove textbook of poems and stories for ICSE class 10 students. If you are looking for more such test papers, which we are calling the success test papers, please look at the English literature success test papers on the SWS app, or you can go to our website studywithsudhir.com. This is for the board examinations of 2024. So if you're in class 11 or 12, you could have a look at the 20 test papers for grammar, or you could be part of our percentage booster crash course for English grammar, which will also include doubt solving and live classes till your board examinations on the 12th of February. For the ICSE class 10, we have success test papers prepared by subject experts on history, civics, and you can ask any of your seniors how popular our test papers actually are, right? History, civics, geography, biology, chemistry, English literature, and English language, which class 9 students can also use. Okay. This is, of course, apart from the book that we have, the SWS book of essays and letters, which is really doing very well, getting a very, very positive and heartening response. And we are extremely thankful and grateful for that. I personally am. Okay, so let's get started with this particular episode of the Naatu Naatu series. This one is on Treasure Trove. So if you have prepared the 5 poems and 5 stories of Treasure Trove, test yourself now. Okay, so you can see the MCQs in the little match girl, and I've mixed it up. It's not like following in one particular sequence. As I said, some of these questions have been taken from a pre-board examination paper, which a student of mine shared with me. The others are prepared by me. So it's all mixed up. Okay. I say this right at the beginning. कहीं से लिया है तो मैं सीधा बोलता हूं. Okay. There'll never be any intellectual dishonesty out here. In the little match girl, who is the only person who is not a picture of insensitivity? The people of the city, they are insensitive because they don't care about this little girl. The girl's father, of course, he was very insensitive. The girl's grandmother, yes. Or the boy who ran away with the slipper. If he was sensitive, he would not have robbed her of her slippers, right? So the correct option here is the girl's grandmother. The poem 9 Gold Medals teaches us competition and collusion, competition and cooperation, collaboration and collusion. Collusion is a slightly negative word. You know, you kind of collude to do something negative. Or collaboration and cooperation. The correct option is D, collaboration and cooperation. When the patriot is welcomed in the town, what does he ask the people to give him? Does he ask them to give him the bells, the roses? No. The rope? Or is it the, excuse me, sorry, is it the sun? The correct option is the sun. Look at stanza number 2. Under which of these circumstances would the nomadic graziers move away? When they lost their gurras, when the crocodile would attack the women, when they would sell their butter and milk in the district? No. Please read the text very carefully. If you go through the text, you will realize what exactly I'm talking about. When there was no one to buy their buffaloes for tiger bait. So this is the correct option. Option D. In fact, there are 3 conditions. You know, when they would run out of people to buy their butter and milk. So this I have kind of twisted it out here. So the correct option here is option D. In the poem about Ben Adam, how does Ben Adam speak to the angel? With pride, with humility, with fear, or with attitude? The correct option is option B, with humility. He's a very humble person. Did I come 3,000 miles for this? When Owen said this, he felt like a black American, a sophomore, which means a second year student. He was a second year student at the university in Ohio when he kind of set up the previous record. He felt like a champion or he felt like a fool. The correct option is D. See, he uses the word bitterly out here, but bitterly is not an option out here. He said bitterly and he felt like a fool, So that's what, itna dur aake, and he may not even qualify if he continues to commit fouls like this. What indicates that the children, when they came inside in all summer in a day, felt embarrassed? They are startled when they hear the thunder. They close the door on the falling rain. They look down at their feet and hands. They have blue faces from the light. Now, see, when you look down at your feet, when you're not nazron se nazar nahi mila rahe ho, that means you are a little embarrassed, that you realize that you have done something wrong. So the correct option is option C. Mrs. Thompson calls Maggie a poor thing. What had she called her earlier? Now, these are all recall questions. The seventh one is an understanding question, an analytical question. The eighth one is a recall question. So you will get questions relating to recall, relating to understanding, relating to analysis in your question paper. So please, that's why I keep telling my students, read the text multiple times. If you have an exam on any particular day, the morning should be spent reading the text, each and every word and line. This applies both to Treasure Trove as well as to the Merchant of Venice. She had called her a bedridden child, an undisciplined thing, a sick brat, or a helpless child. What had she called? So unless you have read the text very carefully, you will struggle with questions relating to recall. So the correct option here is sick brat, which is why I kind of strongly dissuade you from just listening to summaries. Usse aapka nuksan hoga aaj ke format mein. Okay. Why don't the other students like Margaret? Because she does not like to take a shower, because she snubs William, who is the other classmate. She knew poetry, or her experiences were different from other children. The correct option is D. Where was the bazaar? Now, this is another recall question. और ये इतना छुपा हुआ है टेक्स्ट में कि आप उसको मिस कर देंगे. Okay, where was the bazaar in the blue bead located? The cliff? No. Jungle? No. Railhead or the riverbed? So the correct option is the railhead, which is why I'm saying the recall questions are the easiest and also the most difficult to score, because आपको वहां पे ऑप्शंस में कंफ्यूज किया जाएगा अगर आपने टेक्स्ट को ठीक से नहीं पढ़ा है तो. Select the option that shows the correct relationship between 1 and 2 from All Summer in a Day. Margaret remembered her time on earth and missed the sun. Yeah. The other children bullied Margaret. Right. So both statements are actually correct statements. Statement 1 and 2 are contradictory. Are they contradictory? No, they are not contradictory. One is independent of 2, that they have no connection with each other. They do have a connection. 1 is the cause for 2, or 2 is the cause for 1. So because she remembered, that's why the other children bullied. So 1 is leading to the other. So the correct option is option C, that 1 is the cause of 2. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में प्लीज रीड इट वेरी केयरफुली, बिकॉज वो क्वेश्चंस के द वे दे आर कंस्ट्रक्टेड द ऑप्शंस, उसमें आप कंफ्यूज हो सकते हैं. सो प्लीज रीड इट वेरी केयरफुली. Could not have been nearer the mark. What does it convey? This is from 9 gold medals. Special Olympics banner was appropriate. Special Olympics banner was inappropriate. The athletes were near the finishing mark, or the athletes were not near the finishing mark. So what does it convey? That the banner was appropriate. That, nearer the mark means it was absolute Special Olympics and they had behaved in the most special manner, right? Full of compassion for each other, full of empathy for each other. So it was a most appropriate banner. What quote from All Summer in a Day best shows the frenzied excitement of the children? It's stopping, it's stopping. Do the scientists really know? They turned on themselves like a feverish wheel. They stood looking at the door. So it's stopping is what kind of thing. That's what shows the excitement of the children. If the thing was of the skeptical, if the question was, let's say, shows skepticism of the children, let me test you, shows, that they were in doubt. In that case, option number B will be correct. Option number B will be correct, because do the scientists really know? Shows a certain sense of doubt. उनको मालूम है ना? So it shows skepticism. So please see what is being asked and then look at each of the options very carefully. In order to convince Jane, Joe Thompson quotes from the Bible. What does it show? It shows that he's clever. It shows that he's religious. It shows that he's a good husband. It also shows that, or does it show that he's practical? Bible, I would assume that B, option B would be the right one. At least that's what I thought when I wrote this question. In the Blue Bead, Sibia does not mention her heroic act to her mother. And for this, you need to read the last paragraph, the last 2 lines of the Blue Bead. That's where the answer is. She did not think she had done anything great. It was usual for her to save people in distress. She feared she would be scolded by her mother. She was too excited and happy after finding the Blue Bead. So if you read the last 2 lines of the chapter, that's where you will get the answer to this particular question, option D. Tomorrow is what counts. What aspect of Lus Long is revealed in this line? That he's practical minded, he's patriotic, he's a hero worshipper, that he worships Jesse Owens, or does it show that he's an emotional kind of person? It shows that he's a practical minded person. That today you have to only qualify. Kal ka jump is what matters. So that shows that he's a very practical minded person. You can infer from the children's solemn and pale faces after the return that they are ashamed of what they did to Margaret. They are now tense about, अरे अभी poem लिखनी पड़ेगी sun के बारे में, because now we have seen the sun, or they are tanned in the sun, or they are tired of playing. So because of their solemn and pale faces, we know that they are ashamed of what they did to their classmate Margaret. The children are looking through the window because scientists are performing experiments. No. The constant rainfall is so unusual. No. Margaret was due to return to the earth. No. They are waiting for the sun to come out. Okay. The children move slowly and hesitate to see Margaret at the end of the story because they know they have done a cruel thing to her. They are worried Margaret was dead. They cannot bear to see her pale face again. They know they will get into trouble now. They know that they have done a cruel thing. The last question, 20th question. Which of the following lines contains the same literary device as this line in 9 gold medals, but the youngest of them stumbled and staggered? What does it convey? It conveys the poetic device of alliteration, right? Ben Adams' name led all the rest. Awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. It was I who leaped at the sun. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill. So here you have the alliteration, deep and dream. So the correct option is 20th B, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. I hope this has been of use to you. I hope you got adequately tested. मजा आया तो वीडियो को शेयर करो, सब्सक्राइब करो, bell icon dabao, so that you can get the notification of the next video that I will post here as part of the SWS 2024 Naatu Naatu series. Okay, till the next time, tata, bye bye, be safe, God bless you.